TV.
Hi guys, welcome to Southeast Super League TV for episode 3. I'm Tristan Blacker, your host, joined today by Shan and Patterson from the Koalas, and of course our stats man, Mark Paxton. We're here to cover the girls' competition this afternoon, and starting off at 7:30 we had the Emerald Bears taking on the Silverbacks, and the Silverbacks got it done pretty easily, winning 71-44. Mark, you were at this game. What did you think?
Yeah, well, as per usual, I'm going to sound like a broken record every week, but Steph Powell once again, 21 points, 12 boards, 3 steals, 3 blocks, just unstoppable. I'm not too sure what any team's going to do to be stopping that.
Well, I mean, she had like 3 subs, so she was off the floor for I reckon a good
3 minutes.
No, she was off the floor for a good, I reckon, 10 or 12 minutes. So, considering she's doing all that inside 30, it's pretty crazy. Shannon, you've played against her and with her.
Yep.
How do you stop someone like that?
Well, she's pretty tall, so you just got to box out and push back, really. There's not much else you can do. She kind of leans over. The more she leans, the more foul she's going to get.
Yeah, and I mean, the tough thing, I guess, for the oppositions in regards to Steph Powell is she had Bridget Deary play with her for the first time this game, and Bridget finished with 18 points, 7 boards, 2 assists, and was really good considering just coming back from a holiday. She ran the floor. She kind of did it all.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I predicted this game to be double figures, around 15, 20 points. Ended up being a bit more than that. But yeah, as you said, Bridget Deary was on fire. And for the Bears, they only had 5 players, so they found it really difficult.
Yeah, well, that's true too. So they were missing prize recruit and Tanea Phillips, who was away, and Jill Appleton, their GM, was overseas as well. So they were struggling for numbers. But the good thing for the Bears is they had Deanna Jolliffe, DJ, play her first game. And she was pretty impressive to watch. Yeah,
exactly. It's just 15 points, 5 boards, 3 assists, and a massive 8 steals, just showing her defensive capabilities.
Does that scare you?
A little bit. 8 steals. No, you can't even do that domestic, so...
Yeah, and I mean, talking to her after the game, she said she was unfit. So pretty surprising that...
I mean, I'd be pretty happy if I was unfit and got 8 steals, 15 points and 5 rebounds.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. But I mean... the ladder's kind of starting to take shape. Like the Silverbacks are really just dominating at the minute. Yeah. Do you think they're the team to beat, Shan? Like, I mean, I know there's a lot of teams that have had missing players and whatnot and depleted lists, but are they the top side to beat, do you think?
Apart from the Koalas, definitely think the Silverbacks are one to watch. Steph and Bridget looked like a very strong duo. Now that they've got a full team, I think they'll start looking a little bit more competitive.
I suppose
they're shooting high percentages as well. So, and
you've got Grace Watson that just runs the floor and rebounds hard as well. So that's kind of the big 3 for them.
Yeah.
But moving on to your Koalas, you had a pretty convincing win again. 61 points, defeating the Tynong Tornadoes 35.
Yeah, actually wasn't expecting a 30-point win, or close to a 30-point win. I went into the game and telling my team that they're quick and they're short and they're going to get up and about, and we're going to need to watch what we do up the floor more so than when we got into half court. But the last 5 minutes, I think, really did it. We just kept pushing, and little Kate Spezza caught up with them all, which was handy because the rest of us couldn't.
Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, and you talk about speed and whatnot down the floor from the Tornadoes, and that would be Rhiannon Gallagher.
Yeah.
Love her or hate her. I think you love her, I don't like her. She's a speed demon, and that was her first game as GM and playing in Super League as well.
Steffi, Ree, Tyler, they're all quick.
Yeah,
all
correct.
of them are quick.
Yeah, that's it. And I mean, in that game, Mark...
Yeah, for me it was Keely.
Yeah.
The better Patterson. But no, 21 points, 3 boards, 4 assists, 5 steals, just filling up the stat sheet.
Tell me, what can she do if she's not scoring?
3 boards, 4 assists, 5 steals.
15 boards, 3 boards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, outside of Keely Patterson, second best player for the Koalas, Ali Coots had a really fantastic game as well. 15 and 13.
I think she could be the first in this league to get a triple-double.
Yeah, I think you'll probably.
And it will probably be with steals.
Yeah, there you go. Well,
or assists, because she's got really good people around her.
Hey, who knows? Quadruple double. It's possible.
I'll take that.
and a shout out to Kate Spurzer as well. Finished with 8 and 8. That's nearly a double for her. She's week in week out working really hard and coming in from junior basketball. She's playing
I'm quite
fantastic.
happy with the way that we drafted, because I got quite low drafts in the later rounds, and I think I've done really well.
You got to steal with Kate. Yeah,
we've got
sure.
quite a solid team, and every single person has done something on the board so far in the first 3 weeks. So looking forward to getting another 30-point win this week.
I would have to agree that the Koalas are probably the more team orientated team out of the 5 teams that are involved.
Yep.
There seems to be a lot of teams that have one big scorer. They might drop one player score 30 odd points. Everyone else chips in a couple. The Koalas always seem to have one 20-point scorer and a few in the double figures. So and that's really showing. Then I think you guys are undefeated now still.
Undefeated.
Yeah.
Yep, 3-0.
So
wow.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that? Who would have thought that?
I
But
would have thought
credit where credit's due. The Tornadoes are still working really hard. They've had a few injuries and a few players in and out throughout their start to the season. So Tyler Scorer finished with 12 and 4. She's had 2 really good games now, and Steph V as well. There's another one to watch for triple double. She finished with 9, 7 and 5. So another solid performance from her.
If they can get, it says here that they're shooting the ball at 30%. If they can even make 5 more of those shots, they're still a team that's threatening.
Correct, and just a shout out to the Tornadoes, because there could be a new signing for them. Only being one player down, we can't mention names just yet, but it's a very, very high caliber player.
Very high caliber player. It could make quite a big difference for the Tornadoes. Their season might turn around with this entry person.
You weren't too happy.
We'll see how we go. See how we go. I don't think my koalas are very threatened at the moment.
Oh, geez.
Not quite an endangered species yet.
Very good. Well, I think that kind of... Oh, no, there's one more thing that we need to cover, and that's our Player of the Week. There was a few candidates that could have won it this week.
I think the koala's been robbed in this Player of the Week
You can only vote for who's put on the table, Shannon. And your sister got pipped at the line by Deanna Jolliffe in her first game.
Twice now. Oh, that's okay. DJ deserves it.
With 8 steals, I think she does.
Yeah.
And the good thing about that is too, it shows that the ones that are winning the award are the ones deserving. It's not just because your team won, you get the award.
It's also not the highest scorer. Like
Exactly.
Annabelle with 28 points, she didn't get Player of the Week that round either. So it's good to see that people voting are looking at the all-around game. Which is
that's
important.
it. And I mean, and thanks to our sponsor in Burgold for providing the Player of the Week each week.
Yeah.
I think Steph Pell's there now stuffing her face with her award from last week. So
could
good
be
on her.
3. She could have 3 votes in front of her.
That's it. All right, guys. We'll be back after this break.
Lonsdale Street Auto Electrics, proud sponsor of the Southeast Super League domestic competition. Located at 15 Park Drive in Dandenong, Marty Sanchez and the boys will be able to take care of all your auto electric needs. They have a wide range of services and systems on offer, including GPS tracking for your car, CCTV security systems, and more importantly, with summer just around the corner, they'll be able to sort out your car's air conditioning and get your car nice and cool in time for summer. So go down and see Lonsdale Street Auto Electrics, 15 Park Drive, Dandenong, proud sponsor of the Southeast Super League domestic competition.
All right, guys, welcome back. I've had to step in for Tristan here. He's over having a chunder, I think. He's pretty crook, so I've stepped in. I'm here with Lewis and Mark. Obviously, we're going to cover the elite section. We had some good games going on last week, so why don't we jump straight into it? First game, we had the Silverbacks versus the Pacers, and it was the Pacers that got the Chockies 72-63.
Surprising. Very surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell us your thoughts, Mark, on that.
Nick Wiedemann, that was the difference.
Neil Wiedemann. Nick? He's getting all sorts of different names now.
We'll go with Neil.
No, it's Ned. Oh my god, I did that week 1 too.
Oh, he'll go by Nick if you like.
Whatever you like, mate. 25 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, second big game in a row, and really carried, I guess.
They don't call him the black hole for nothing. That man does not know how to let go of the ball unless it's going towards the rim. But good on him. He hit quite a few shots. Well done, Ned.
Yeah, he had a big one, and also Simo chimed in with 13 of his own. Nathan Malloy, 11 points, 6 rebounds. I haven't seen much of his game. What can you tell me about his game?
Couldn't tell you a thing. Have
Okay.
not paid any attention whatsoever. So I'll look out this week and I'll get back to you on that one.
Okay, all right.
Cody, that is a kid to be reckoned with. He cannot be stopped. That man wants to shoot. He's going to be shooting. There's not much he can't do. So he's a really big thing for that team.
Yeah, I think he's got a couple of big games coming up.
Very much so.
He's due for one, I think. So look for him to bust out a big one in the next few games. Jeff Reed had 15 points, 7 rebounds. He caught fire there. I think he probably scored about 12 of those points in about 3 minutes flat. So
Yeah.
he was on fire, and Paul Phillips chipped in with 16 of his own and 8 rebounds.
I think that was the big difference for the Silverbacks picking up this loss. The Pacers were able to hold Phillips to only 8 boards. Now I know 8 boards is still pretty impressive.
For a man of that stature, though.
But
you'd
to
expect a few more.
keep him to under double rebounds, like double figure rebounds, I think that could be the key to beating them.
Yeah, well, in domestic, I think he averaged about 15 rebounds a game.
Exactly,
so,
yeah.
With ease.
Yeah, so it's good to see that, that you guys are bullying him in the elite comp, mate. We like seeing
He's
it.
doing the bullying with me, don't you worry.
Now we just need a poster. That's all it is.
Yeah, fair enough. Moving on to the next one, we had the Vikings playing the Pirates. The Pirates getting the win 71-59, and it was, I think Mike Godfrey was late to the game, so it was the Pirates getting away to an early start.
It's a crucial part missing. Super League Mike is the man.
Yeah, is he like Hoodie Mallow?
Yeah, definitely Hoodie Mallow. Comes to the end of the regular season and Mike just turns it up.
Okay, Super League Mike.
Super League Mike.
Okay, yeah, he was late to the game, so they sort of found themselves chasing their tail a bit in that one, and it was hard for him to come back. But towards the end, they actually did mount a bit of a comeback.
So it was another Michael Johns with 22 points, 8 boards and 7 assists. Massive all-round game and worthy of Player of the Week.
Yeah,
Triple-double lookout.
Yeah,
coming up.
So you feel one coming on?
He's definitely capable of achieving that.
Yeah,
Can play.
Yeah.
Flat out play.
Another player that did really well was James Top. Seems to always do well in Super League. Yeah,
Veteran.
21 points and 10 boards. Really had another solid game, and I think he probably could have gone in the first round, in my opinion.
He very well could have. It'd be a great pickup in the first round, but we dropped to second round, and that's even better for somebody else.
Value,
even
really
better.
Solid value. Other top performances were Aaron Olacek. Solid pickup in the late rounds, and he's rebounding really well this season. So
yeah, good all-round player. Very good pickup for them.
Yeah. And Aaron Urrutia.
Yeah, Aaron Arusha, he's just come back from not playing basketball for a while, so it's good to see him back on the court.
Okay.
He played a bit of youth league with us a few years ago, and to see him coming back into basketball is really good.
Yeah, sure.
A lot of bounce behind him, so I wouldn't be surprised to catch him on the giving end of a poster this season.
Yeah, okay.
Would be good to see.
He ended up, I think he had a cut on his eye, which limited his court time a little bit, but he's going to look to build some momentum for sure. He looks like he can play a bit.
Would be great to see that.
All right, moving on to the next one. It was the Mustangs taking on the Dragons. This game went to overtime.
Some controversy in that game. The end of that was an absolute mess. Fouls galore, people yelling at refs. But the Dragons got over the line in that overtime, thanks to Matt Burkheck at the end. Big, long fella with the nice layup to finish the game. So well done to the Dragons there.
Yeah, he came up big time, didn't he? Just at the right time.
No defense from him, though. You can see here, Vlad Tankoff, 18 points, 11 rebounds.
Well, yeah, Vlad's a really solid player, and
I believe 5 of those were from outside the arc.
No
one's getting a hand on that.
Well, I think you guys who are going to get a hand up are Matt Darcy and Aaron Miles.
They should be.
So, I mean, they might be able to tap his nipples on the way past or something. That's about it.
Yeah, I think Burko got taught a lesson by Vlad this week. Vlad went inside early to start off the game, posted him up, so then Matt started to sag back a little bit, and that's when Vlad just started to pull up. And when he got hot early, Matt came out to the three-point line, so Vlad started pulling up from court to court and just couldn't be stopped.
Can't be stopped. Everyone has those days, much like you this weekend, Dale.
Yeah, well. Yeah, so the game went to overtime. Dragons got the chockies. Tommy Walsh played really well for the Mustangs. I felt 24
Huge game.
points and
Very big game.
and 4 boards, and really looks like a dangerous player in the league.
Very much so.
I think he's flown under the radar, Tommy Walsh, in this league.
Yeah.
He's been overlooked a bit, and I'm just flying under the radar at the minute. A quiet 24 points. So
Yeah, and I think he's probably not done yet. I think he could
not
go
at
for a
all.
big one.
We'll see. Hopefully.
Yeah, the other interesting matchup in that game was Matt Darcy versus Pedro. So we talked about that last week. I think Matt Darcy was calling him his dad or his uncle.
Cool. Big call.
Uncle Pedro.
Yeah.
So
Uncle
it was
Pedro.
Good to see that one unfold, and both guys had a pretty reasonable sort of game. So I think you'd have to call it a tie, in my opinion.
yeah,
For
well,
now.
Pedro won the first half. It wasn't even close. Pedro destroyed Darcy in the first half, but Darcy fought back really well, and I agree, it was probably even by the end of the game.
Yeah, I thought so too. All right, so the last game on the docket was the Hornets versus the Sharks, and it was
Great
the
game.
Hornets. The Hornets got up 65-60. What
We
can you tell us
certainly
about
did.
that one?
Oh, Lee Belton, some serious trouble that game. He had 29 points, 5 rebounds, and that's about all the Sharks had to offer. No help from much else on the team. So Lee did a really good job getting to the line. I think he might have missed 1 free throw, which is very unlike him. So he well and truly carried them, but unfortunately couldn't get the job done. With Noah, 16 points, just easy buckets.
That's a solid
defending
outing.
him.
I like that.
Really
From
good
Noah.
effort.
Yeah.
And our shooter, Andrew Nola, deep threes. He's pulling up quarter court deeper.
Yeah. Do you
Can't be
think
stopped.
the Dragons are regretting trading him away, or?
I think quite possibly. I'm happy with the trade that we made.
Yeah.
We've picked up quite a solid unit in Nola. So
He looks
I'm
like
happy
he
with
might
that.
lead your team in scoring for the year, I think.
I won't complain.
And just to remind everyone, who did you give up for Noah?
Little Matt Darcy.
Little Matt
so
Darcy.
we gave up a very quick and talented guard, but we've certainly gained a
Picked
great
up
shooter in
Picked
that.
up a solid scorer, definitely.
Who starred for your team apart from Noah? It was Nola and
The
Dylan
two
Jenkinson?
ends,
Yeah.
Noah and Nola. Dylan Jenkinson, 9, 8, and 7 I see here. So that was very quiet. Didn't even notice the near triple-double that game. So really well done to Dilly Jenks. Hopefully he can get those numbers up a little bit higher. And
Is
pull that
he someone
triple-double.
that's capable of a triple-double in this league?
Well and truly, if he wants to let the ball fly, there's no shot he can't make. So
Yeah.
that'll be good to see.
I think for the Hornets, the big thing is that they've got a lot of role players, so it's very much a team orientated. Like, it's all about the team. It's not one individual player. And going back to the women's, exactly like the Koalas. So the two dominant teams seem to be common theme there.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, fair enough. And Trent Westwood, I think he didn't get on the scoreboard, but he's got 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 2
A
steals,
lot of
and
good
2
body on
blocks.
that.
Yeah.
So he's sort of establishing himself as a defensive type guy in the league, and
Someone to look out for.
Yeah, quite a good pickup.
You don't want to be catching him in the post.
Yeah. Sharks gave you a bit of a scare towards the end.
They did. They led a little bit of a comeback coming towards the end. Lucky we held them off, made a couple of nice shots towards the end. I think we owe that all to Nola. A couple of nice pull-ups, but we got over the line, thankfully.
Yeah, you guys were looking pretty comfortable at one point. and not
Seemed
so
we seemed to run out of
comfortable towards
shots, just couldn't make anything more.
the end.
Yeah, but lucky Nola had a couple left in him, so we thank him for that.
Yep.
Got the job done.
You see yourself making finals this season?
I won't make any promises just yet.
Talk
The
it
Hornets don't have the best track record, but we'll give it a red-hot crack. And we'll hopefully see everyone in finals.
And your efforts come into question numerous times over the previous seasons.
Very much so.
Are you giving it a bit more this season?
I try. I can commit to maybe 24 minutes a game of basketball. The rest I'll just kind of ponder along. But
Trash
we've
talk
got
from the sideline.
That's what I'm here for. That's my role. We've got plenty of other guys that are capable of stepping up. We've got Nathan Dodgson in here, which is a massive presence inside. A really good defensive player. So the Hornets can go all the way.
I reckon we've got to get Lewis mic'd up for the games.
On-court mic.
On-court mic.
Okay. We're going to look into that, actually.
We're going to get you
That'd be
mic'd
solid.
up
We'll
during
have
the
a
games.
courtside beeper going on though. Zip the profanity.
All right, well, that wraps things up for our elite section of the program. We're going to take a break and a quick word from our sponsors, and we'll be back with the domestic.
Horn Industrial Coatings, official naming sponsor of the Southeast Super League. A family-run business with over 15 years' experience, Horn Industrial Coatings specialise in a range of epoxy flooring solutions for both commercial and industrial applications. There's no job too big or too small for Horn Industrial Coatings. If you've got a project at home that needs a flooring solution, reach out to Dean for some expert help with your flooring needs. Be it a workshop at home, a basketball court out in the backyard that needs servicing, Horn Industrial Coatings have got your floor covered. For more information about Dean's wide range of flooring solutions, visit hornindustrialcoatings.com.au. Proud naming sponsor of the Southeast Super League.
All right, and we're back for our domestic side of Super League now, opening with our first game at 6:30. We have the Koalas, who scored 40 against the Bears, 48. Dale, tell us about this one.
Yeah, this was going to be a really interesting matchup, I thought. You had like the Koalas, they were fully manned up this time, so first time this season they were on there, and we expected a really good game, but we sort of got delivered the opposite. So
Bit lackluster.
Well, the Bears looked really comfortable throughout the whole game. It wasn't until the second half that there was a bit of a comeback, and the Koalas charged home really fast, but just ran out of time.
And Kiwi Kem, or Kem Samuel as his proper name, finally teaming up with Robes. How did that go?
Yeah, it was interesting. I don't think either of them had a massive game by their own standards, but look, Kem put the team on their back in the second half, and he really mounted that comeback that we're all sort of
hoping to see.
Yeah, absolutely.
And stats wise, Mark, is there anyone that stood out for you across the first game?
Yeah, it's scary because he said it wasn't his greatest game, but Kiwi Kem, it was him. 16 points and 7 boards. And I reckon 90% of that, as you said, would have come in the second half.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is scary, I guess.
And what about for the fastest man in Super League history?
Flanners had probably a quieter game for his standards, but he still somehow finds a way to impact the game with his defence and all the other smart decisions that he makes. So he had a quiet game, but still had a footprint.
So that's a third loss for the Koalas.
Yeah, so
starting to mount.
Yeah, pressure's starting to mount on those guys to get a win, because I mean we all thought at the start of the season they had a really good squad. They just haven't put the wins on the board yet. And
with so many teams in the league now, early losses, it's going to be difficult to get back up to the top to make finals.
Yeah, there's only 11 weeks to do it, so time's running out.
It is. Now, moving on to the second game, we had the Tornadoes 39 versus the Ducks 61. This, on paper, looks like a bit of a blowout. The Ducks have been on fire from the get-go, and the Tornadoes probably a little bit lackluster considering the players that they have. Give us a bit of an outline on this game and how it started.
Yeah, it started off with bulk shots getting up, but it just didn't turn out the way that the Tornadoes were hoping. Had a few of their earlier shots gone in, you would have noticed a really close game, I think.
Yeah, and that kind of paints a bit of a picture for the Tornadoes, because over consecutive weeks they've actually outshot the opposition.
Yeah,
their points just haven't gone.
Yeah, they're just not falling. Now that will come too, because they've got great shooters on the
They
squad.
do. They've probably got one of the best shooters in Super League, really.
Yeah.
In Joel Donnelly, he can shoot the living heck out of the ball. So.
And you tell they were a lot more focused this week too. So I mean, Corey smashed it. He had 12 and 9, and I think he was 1 from 5 from 3. But so I think Joel will be telling him to get his butt inside and grab some rebounds.
The man can play from 1 to 5.
To Corey's defence though, we've focused a lot on about this Tornadoes team not focusing on the game, being more focused on the refs and things like that's been going on. Corey this week really stood up. He almost took like a lead role with the team, and whenever it looked like someone was going to step out of line, he just pulled them back. Guys, get your head back in the game. And the Tornadoes showed they were much better this week.
Yeah,
they kept their head. They were focused on the game, and full credit to Corey for that. He led that.
Yeah,
good on him.
Yeah, absolutely.
And hopefully that continues.
I think it will. They're all a bunch of good dudes. You know,
Yeah.
they've got a really good squad, and they're very capable of continuing and winning games. So I guess time will tell.
Yeah.
Now moving on to the third game, we had the Toucans 34 being defeated by the Penguins 46. Obviously, the Penguins have got back into the winning circle.
Yeah, and that was obviously going to be a really good game. I thought that maybe the game of the round.
Game of the round. Yep.
But I think the Toucans were missing their big in Michael Stewart, and it left a pretty big hole.
Well, he's done really well over the first part of the season. With being the biggest guy in the competition, getting down the floor and doing it at both ends, scoring a lot of points. So yeah, I would assume that he was greatly missed.
Yeah, and you look at someone like Patch Deng. He had 13 points, 18 rebounds.
Yeah.
So he had a field day on the glass.
Yeah.
Michael Stewart probably puts a bit of a halt on that, I think, for them, and putting a few points up, the game's a lot closer.
Yeah, definitely. And shout out to Hot Sauce as well. He had three trays, and 2 of them were really deep with defense in his face. So I don't like to talk the big man up.
Nor do I.
Yes,
but congratulations.
Credit where credit's due.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to draft him on my team, but he was gone far too early. He's gone far too early.
Now, there's one name here that stands out, and it's a guy that we've known for a very long time, and Scott Ollerook, only finishing with 2 points.
Yeah.
He had 8 boards and 5 assists.
Yeah. I mean, he's been around a long time, knows how to play basketball, so he's just finding a way to contribute to the team, and rebounding well and passing well and doing all the smart things that he should do.
Yeah.
Is exactly that.
No, good on him. Now, moving on to the next game, we have the Bulldogs 43 being losing to the Reapers 48. Dale, still undefeated.
Yeah, pretty happy with that. Can't complain. Our guys, I feel like we've done a really good job, and to be undefeated still is a huge achievement for the team.
Yeah, without a doubt, because there was a few concerns around the traps about the Reapers and how you drafted, but you've done pretty well because you've got a pretty key outfit there.
Yeah, well, it's sort of looking that way. Again, I was talking about it last week. Us looking like a pretty good defensive side, which is strange, but that's what we are. So we're not going to light you up on fire from outside or anything like that, but we'll get the job done defensively. And
to the Bulldogs, they're one to kind of look at again, because they haven't started very well, and they've got a really, really good team.
They've got a really dangerous roster, and it was a really scrappy sort of game from both teams. But I think that's what helped both teams. They were just willing to do the 1%ers, dive on the loose ball, throw their body on the line for the team sort of thing. And most games, I think that will get the Bulldogs over the line. But the Reapers just did it back, I guess. And that was the end result, getting the win.
They caught fire late too.
Looking at this, you got Becky, 21 points, 3 boards, 6 steals. That's huge.
He destroyed us.
Massive.
He had a really good game and caught fire late, as did Nick Cooper. He shot really well towards the end of that game.
Yeah, 14 points.
And I think it was within 2 points at one stage, and we were sort of pretty worried.
Got back to 2 points, but that's when it sort of fell apart for the Bulldogs. They couple technical fouls from a couple different players, an ejection. So lost some big players late. And that, I think, cost them.
Yeah, we ended up with a few gifts at the line, and that sort of deal was done by then. So, but for the most part of that game, it was pretty exciting to be a part of, for sure, because when they're coming back at you like that, you're sort of really worried about it. So hats off to them.
And moving on to the graveyard shift, or what do you call it? The Wednesday morning game.
Wednesday morning game.
It was the Matadors 55, downing the Crocs 51.
Yeah, I think Mark called it. He said this: if there's a game that's going to go to overtime, this will be the one.
Yeah.
So and it didn't disappoint. It was really close.
Yeah, as I said, this is a game to go to overtime. If not, be really close. And the Matadors got over the line, which I expected. Just got that one extra player that can bring it every now and then. Wyatt, 12 points, 13 boards, another solid game. Just consistency.
Oh, he's the most consistent guy in the competition, isn't he?
Does it every week. Yeah.
Could he average a double-double?
He probably is.
No, for the season. Yeah. By end season.
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah.
I reckon him and Patch probably average double-doubles for the season.
Any standouts in this game for you?
There wasn't for me. It was both teams were very team oriented, so I didn't have a standout, but
yeah, no one really scored the ball at a great rate, but I think Riley Lanting backed his solid game up from last week.
14 points.
Yeah, so he's backed it up with 14, and we sort of talked about him being someone who can score the ball in this league, and he's starting to get that confidence up to do that, which is really good.
And our favourite Uber driver, Serge, he looked like on paper he had a good game. 8 points, 5 boards and 3 assists. Yeah. Coming off a slight injury over the last few weeks, so it's good to see him progress and get some good court time.
Yeah, I think he's starting to get some momentum, which is really good for him and the Crocs, because they're looking for another win. I think they're just with the one win.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of thought the Matadors would get up convincingly in this game. I think I mentioned it to you, and you know, credit where credit's due. They're continuing the grind. They're in games, and I think, you know, with a little bit better shooting efficiency, they'll start closing out games, and there may be one to watch come finals time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely. The one player that is going to stand out for me would be Rob Middleton.
Yeah.
So didn't have a massive game, 10 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. So it was a solid game, but I think he's got more in the tank.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised if he can pull out a big game at some stage soon.
And he's probably still finding his feet. Like, he missed the first 2 games,
Yeah.
so you know, only playing the 2, it's.
Yeah, I mean, you see him warm up and he's shooting, you know, 10, 12 shots in a row.
Yeah.
And you just think, wow, this is gonna turn into something big at some point during the season. So can't wait. Hopefully it's not against us.
And shout out to Kurt Lazaro, winning Player of the Week. Another young kid that was drafted late that we didn't know a lot about, who's just tearing it apart at the minute.
Yeah, so he was picked up, I think, maybe in the 6th round or 7th round or something like that, and he's just come in and found his feet really quick. He's good in transition, he's good on D, rebounds, passes, does everything really well.
Well, let me just read this out to you. He gets Player of the Week. He finished with 20 points, 7 boards, 5 assists, 5 steals. That's just ridiculous.
You're pretty happy if you finish the game with that stat line out. Yeah.
And don't expect this to be a once-off either. He could do this on multiple occasions.
Yeah, he's had several good games already.
Yeah.
So,
and I think their GM and Matty Basilios is just letting everybody know about it too.
I think he hustled everyone on draft day, to be honest.
Yeah.
He knew exactly what
he was sitting around a poker table while he was taking his picks, wasn't he? So, very good. Well, I think that winds up for round 4 for domestic. We'll be back here again next week, covering all games. But until then, thanks for watching, and see you next week.